My name is Paddy Holohan, or some people know me as the Hooligan. I'm probably the most Irish man on the island at the moment. I am an author, I am a coach, I am a father, I am an elected representative in my community, and I host a podcast of No Shame. We have over 100 episodes where we give people some factual, quality information. What achievement am I most proud of in life? My biggest achievement would be becoming a father. Hands down, easy. At 19, I became a father to my first son, Tiernan, and that changed my whole life. At 30, I became a father to my second son, Seamus Patrick Holohan, and that further changed my life. I think that's the real meaning of life, is being at the birth of your kids and feeling that energy of what happens. It's incredible. It's changing. It's like, I don't know, it's like being blown through a portal or something like that. The day before, your life was in one way, and the day after you have a kid, your life is in a whole different realm. It's crazy. It's an crazy, incredible, emotional feeling, and I really think that that's the meaning of life. What was my biggest regret of my career? That's a tough question. I've probably showed too much love and loyalty in places and spaces that I shouldn't have. Who has been the biggest inspiration in my life? Person close to me would be my mother. Absolutely. My mother raised me and my sister on her own. And I don't know how she did it, because we were tough kids, and she never really gave out. She never hit me. She never drank. She never did drugs. She was pretty strong growing up. My factual or fictional character that would have inspired me the most would be Tom Crean. Tom Crean's story is an incredible story for me. Someone that was 15 years of age, lied about his age, joined the Navy, and ended up on expeditions to the Antarctic with Captain Scott. How incredible is that? To go from Kerry to the Antarctic. Only an Irishman could do something like that. What has been the biggest disappointment of my career, and how did I overcome it? Well, I would say that would probably be my career ending. It was a big high, and then I had to end. So having to retire was probably one of the hardest days of my life. No one will ever realise what it's like to push the button on share on something that's literally going to change how your whole life is. Picture yourself as a fighter now, and picture somebody coming to you and saying, that's it. Your last fight was your last fight. You didn't really get to appreciate it. You didn't really get to suck in the energy as much as you would have if you hadn't known it was your last fight. So imagine that happening, and then you'll probably have a little feeling of what my biggest regret was. Having to retire. What was the most memorable moment of my career? I'd say it would have to be walking out at UFC Dublin. Anybody that has read my book, The Hooligan, will know that I'd been through absolute war to get there. And when I made that walk out, there was 11,000 Dubliners there, probably about 5,000 Jobstownians, and I was walking out there to do something that I was made to do, and that was fight. Getting in there, dropping a guy, and then submitting a guy with one of my favourite submissions, a rear naked choke, and then being able to just wallow in that moment was probably one of the greatest moments of my life, let alone my career. I could have died in that moment, and I would have died a happy man. Probably one of the funniest stories of my career would be I had just weighed in the Tree Arena, and I was making my way back over to the Ibis Hotel. Now, as I just weighed in, I had just sculled a litre of coconut water. And let me tell you one thing, that made it trip from my lip to my hip, like that. People were asking me for photographs. Now listen, take into account that photographs had only just happened. The day before, I was a nobody. So I didn't know how long the photos took. So I was trying to weigh up the option between taking photos of people and the time I had left not to shit myself. It was safe to say that I made it in any way. Instead of Paddy Holohan walking out and knocking the roof off the first UFC win on Irish soil, the headline would have been, UFC fighter shits himself in the Ibis lobby. That wouldn't have been a good story, but a funny story. Who is the most famous person that follows me on social media? I'd probably say Conor McGregor. But then there's other people in there as well. Tyson Fury once followed me, and he'd only followed 20 people, and it was me and his brothers and all of the other lads in there. Tyson's a sound man. Jerry Adams, big Jerry A, he follows me. He's pretty sound as well. And we don't really look at like famous people or in that way, you know. I look at people as just like, you're either sound or you're not. So yeah, I would say Conor would have to be the answer for that one. The best advice that I have ever received came from a book. The ability to manage your impulsive chimp will ultimately determine how successful you can be. To me, that spoke straight to me. I probably would have been a little bit impulsive, and I would have got myself in trouble by probably speaking out of school or allowing people to be able to use my words as ammunition against me, if you must. I wasn't sent to a perfectly speaking English school. I wasn't in school a lot as well when I was young, so maybe that has something to do with it. Sometimes my words and the way I do my words can get me into trouble. I'm an Irish man speaking the English language. I don't think it suits me. If I could go back and meet my younger self, what advice would I give to him? I would advise him to believe in himself, that he is a lot stronger than he thinks. He should believe in himself a lot more than he does. Because when we're young, I think that we think everybody else around us is kind of better. I know I did as a kid growing up, and maybe that was some insecurities from childhood. But I would go back and I would tell him, I would grab him by his ginger fringe and I would tell him, listen mate, cop yourself on. You can be powerful beyond measure. You're going to do incredible things in your life. If I told you them now, you wouldn't even believe me. So I'm not going to tell you. I would slap him across the head. I'd give him a lend of 50 quid, and that would be what I'd say to my younger self. What 3 things would I advise a young athlete coming up? Number 1 would be yourself, because you want to develop yourself. So make sure that you're real and that you're authentic. Don't try and copy. Number 2, I would work hard. Be prepared to work hard. It's going to be hard. And when you think you've worked hard, work a little bit harder. Number 3 would be seek out the most quality advice. The most popular advice is not always the most correct. You need to get your information and your knowledge and research it and make sure that it's correct. They would be the 3 things that we would recommend. My tips for isolation to stay busy is, if you are a fighter, move like a fighter. Go out to your back garden, do 3 3-minute rounds or 3 5-minute rounds if you're a professional of shadowboxing, moving, visualization. Visualization is probably one of the most incredible tools that you will have as a fighter. Use your imagination and visualize your opponent coming at you. If you were a GA player, you play golf, snooker, whatever, use them things. Use the time that you have now for runs, for looking after your mother, for learning how to bake, for learning how to cook, for cleaning out your wardrobes, and the time to appreciate the smaller things in life. There's so much to be done. We're getting to stop the whole world for a few weeks and continue on with what we do after that. So don't wish this time away. If I was you, I would use this time constructively and I would learn new skills. Don't just focus on fitness, because fitness goes away. The skills remain. So fight for the skills and the rest will fall into place. My plans and my profession over the next 12 to 24 months. 24 months is really 2 years. I don't know why people say 24 months, to be honest. Um, is to just keep doing what I'm doing. Every day I get out of my bed and I try to change people's lives. I try to fix what's going on. I try to fix the wrongs in the world. Nearly sends me crazy sometimes, but I do try my best. I believe I've got a good heart and my intentions are always true. Even if people direct them intentions to different ways, I can always revert back to that nucleus deep inside me. My intentions are always true. So I cannot tell you what my goals are to go forward, because usually what happens to me is they present themselves and they present themselves as fights. And at the moment now, the world has one of the biggest fights in their hands, which is the coronavirus, or this pandemic that's going on. So right here, right now, I am trying to inspire as many people as possible to do the right thing, because that's what we need. We need a mass movement of people to be able to save a lot of lives here. And I think the reset of this is going to change everything going forward. I hope it does change everything goes forward. It makes people appreciate and be grateful for the smaller things in life. So my goal over the next little while is to make sure that I stay doing what I'm doing, even through the hard times. Be better, not bitter.